Hey WIB!
Hey WIB, what's
Hey
up?
WIB.
Hi WIB!
Welcome to the vlog. Welcome to the documentary.
Thank you so much for all you do. I hope you all had a great year.
And I hope you guys enjoy our project.
Woke up feeling like I just might run for president. Even if there ain't no precedent. Switching up the messaging. I'm about to add a little estrogen.
Favorite WIB memory has to be when conference committee plus Amanda, Mandy Manders, and Bettina Benita went to Detroit for conference, and it was literally the most fried weekend I've ever been a part of. Everything went wrong. It was chaos. We weren't even there for 48 hours. Mandy got food poisoning. Benira's credit card was hijacked. Liv literally had an allergic reaction to everything she ate. It was just so weird. I think we just all bonded so much. Definitely my favorite memory, but I love all my WIB girls. This year was amazing.
This is Jasmine Kim. A funny story, when I was on a trip to New York with my fellow WIBer Jean, we were staying at this Airbnb and we somehow became good friends with this host who happened to be a Taiwanese American. The last night that we were staying at the Airbnb, Jean and I were planning on watching this Taiwanese movie, and the host asked us if he could join us a little bit while he will be working on his own stuff. And he ended up watching the entire movie with us, which was quite interesting, but it was a weirdly good bonding experience.
Hi WIB, it's Nikki Ryan. After mass meetings, one of our old WIBers, Maddie Braun, used to drive me home, and we would always have like really long talks in the car on the way home about how everything was going and like fun like little life updates. And I always really looked forward to that.
Allow yourself to put yourself out there and be vulnerable with the people around you. I think that that's how I've made the greatest friends of my life, the greatest mentors, and it's helped to make my experience within WIB at IU the best that it could be.
Really take advantage of the opportunities to get to know the upperclassmen. They have so much knowledge to share about everything from recruiting to life advice, and are also just great friends. So really reach out to them, don't be afraid, and they really want to get to know you as much as you want to get to know them.
It all comes back to this idea of mentorship. For me, I hadn't seen mentorship applied in a formal context until getting to IU and actually joining WIB. Having someone assigned to me to really guide and advise and support and console me throughout all the changes that happened in those first couple years and throughout college was an incredible asset. So as someone with years ahead of you still in WIB, cherish them, develop relationships, really commit to getting to know and getting to love the women that you're surrounded by.
Hey everyone, it's Mia. My favorite memory, hands down, has to be Female Genius. Looking back on the day when we all got to wear hoodies together on campus, I remember feeling so inspired and empowered by everybody around me, and I just felt so thankful and blessed to be part of an organization that was doing so much, not only for our community, but for people across the country and around the world.
The day before Female Genius hoodies were going to be passed out in Hodge, as we inched closer to that time, Mandy and I started noticing that we couldn't track the boxes anymore, so we had no idea where they were, and there was no way we could mess the shipment up because we had to pass these out the very next day.
My favorite memory, hands down, is trying to get those boxes into the Kelly School. We were texting back and forth. We were waiting all day for the mailroom to get the shipment. We were told, okay, at this time it's going to close. And Mandy's like, it's out in the truck. It's out in the truck. I can read the tracking. It's out in the truck.
That was the day I learned that you don't underestimate Mandy Novikov, because as soon as we noticed we couldn't track these packages, I started getting on a phone and, calling and trying to figure things out, while she took a different approach and started driving around in her car and chasing down every UPS truck to see if they were going or driving anywhere close to Hodge Hall so we could figure out if anyone had our boxes. Later that night, I got a call from Liz saying that accidentally 160 boxes were delivered to our front porch instead.
And all of a sudden I get a text and said, oh my God, they're on the porch of this house. Like, all these boxes are there.
But we sent out a GroupMe message that night asking if anyone had any ideas or if anyone could help move these boxes. And in less than 30 minutes, everyone in WIB, all my roommates, had reached out to their network of friends and, gotten people who had cars and trucks to pull up in front of our house. And we had people, not just WIBers, but just their roommates and their friends and boyfriends, haul 160 boxes into their, trucks and their tiny cars, and almost created a distribution line from my house to Hodge Hall.
We were at the Kelly School till like 9 o'clock at night. I was at a Kelly student government meeting, going back and forth, trying to help Mandy get all these boxes within the school to do the drop-off date.
We had all of the boxes moved perfectly for the next day.
My best piece of advice going forward is to truly live in the moment, and if you want to do something, then go do it. And you have a gut instinct that like this is going to be the right thing to do, then just do it. That has helped me reflect on my college career so much.
And I will always treasure watching WIB and their leader, Mandy Novikov, and all of you all really work hard to make sure that women in higher education are supported. And those sweatshirts represented something bigger than even your organization and what it was standing for.
And that was the day I learned how wonderful of a community WIB has been, because we've been able to rally, you know, support for any project that someone's involved in, not just professionally, just but personally. Some of my best friends have come out of this org, and it's bittersweet looking back. It has been a wonderful experience.
Hi WIB, it's Molly here. When I was a freshman, a bunch of the WIB girls that were in some of the leadership positions all lived together and invited us over for a spaghetti dinner. It was one of the most welcoming experiences I feel like I've had. It was really refreshing to feel in WIB that they were one of us and wanted to be our friends, even though they were the cool seniors I aspired to be and idolized every single day. So it's a philosophy that I've tried to carry over through my years, and just making everyone feel as welcome as I felt in that experience and as friendly as each of those girls were to me.
When we had all-member retreat in Brown County, I really liked that we got to like break into smaller groups. I got to meet people, especially as a Wiblet, and I mean, cherry on top, I was in the winning tug-of-war group, slight flex, but that was just like a really fun time, and I really remember it as like a time where I felt really welcome in WIB, being a new member.
My favorite memories from WIB this year was the Olympic Games that we did out in Brown County Park. It was so nice to get out of Hodge Hall with all of you wonderful WIBers and play some fun competitive games. It was a great way to get all the WIBers integrated into WIB.
And it's when the WIBlets got invited to our first mass meeting. We were all super nervous, didn't know what to expect, and didn't really know many people. But when we walked into the meeting, there were balloons everywhere, and all of the WIBers were cheering her so loudly. Everyone was super excited and welcoming of us being there, and it made me feel like I had made such a great decision to be part of this organization. I always knew I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself in college, and I wanted to find a family away from home, yet I didn't expect to find it so early on and through WIB, so for that I am super grateful.
In 2019, it was conference pre-night at Poorhouse Cafe. I remember after the speaker, these WIBers, including myself, started sharing our thoughts on how some of us are really hard on ourselves. I remember we all gave a round of applause to each person who shared something, and in my head I thought, wow, every single thought being shared deserves attention, it deserves applause, and we were all very connected, and it was a really important discussion as well. Poorhouse has these huge paneled windows by the entrance. The whole front of the room was a big window, and every time someone passed by those windows, they just stopped and stared at us for at least 10 seconds. Looking back on that, I'm thinking, wow, we must have just really looked like this group of beautiful, powerful, engaged, cohesive humans and women. And I think that while it was very entertaining to see people just do a double take, what's happening at Poorhouse, in the evening, it also is a representation of how this organization kind of has the potential and has in the past made others around them just stop and stare and absorb the beauty of the Oregon's people.